So Lee,
Yes.
NBA 2K20.
Dude, you had to jump right into sports video games.
Yes. So
Garbage. All of it.
see, I haven't played like Madden and NBA. Like I've never really been into them.
You're stressing
but
me out already.
Good. When they need it. Big Gaming Pharma's going down today, buddy.
Yeah, it is. Let's get this done.
So Lee, NBA 2K20.
Are we just specifically saying NBA and whatever 2K20?
No, this is just what's in the news right now.
Okay.
So biggest thing with NBA 2K20. Have you heard of the controversy behind it?
I'll be honest with you. I had a rough weekend. So no, what's going on?
Okay,
Tell
so NBA 2K20, and then
Yeah.
same thing with FIFA, but really bad in NBA.
me. Okay.
So every NBA game that's out there has been rated E for everyone for how long now?
All of them. Well, yeah, all of them.
Okay, so let's just keep this into consideration. Do you ever play Pokemon? The original Pokemon, Red and Blue.
Yeah, Sapphire and Ruby?
Not that one. But do you
Oh.
remember like the slot machines that you used to be able to play?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
like the Game Corner?
Yep.
In Pokemon Red from 1995 or whatever around that time, it was
Okay.
rated T because it had virtual gambling built in.
Was that the first Pokemon game ever rated T, or is that just that one?
No, just that one specifically is a
Okay.
good one to look at. So for that, they rated it T for virtual gambling.
Okay.
There ain't no microtransactions even. You literally are just getting coins off the floor and rolling them on a slot machine
Yeah.
to get like a Pokemon move.
Okay.
So
Like
how
a better Weedle attack or something?
exactly a better Weedle attack. We'll go with
Okay.
that. I know you're not very well in the Pokemon universe, but I'll take it.
Okay.
How is it though that NBA 2K20 can be rated E for everyone, but it has a freaking Japanese pachinko machine inside of it? And if you haven't watched the trailer, he literally says, "Oh my God, I can't even look," closes his eyes, presses the button, and turns away. Tell me how that's not gambling to get Michael Jordan, or I don't even know any other NBA. I am not an NBA
LeBron
guy.
James.
Yeah,
Shaq.
like all those people. He literally in the trailer showed that it
Mhm.
does not matter what he does in that. There's no skill involved. It's literally just gambling, and he has to take his money
Yeah.
to do that.
On 2K.
Yes, but it's
Okay.
rated E.
Then it's an actual real gambling system because there is a risk to reward ratio.
Right, but
obviously.
look at real gambling. They have to disclose the odds of winning. They don't do that.
They do. Yeah, if you walk up to a slot machine, right above it, for all you young kids out there, I have to tell you what each, your winning odds in each game you're in. I guess, yeah. I think, hold on, wait a minute. Not only 2K, but does that mean also loot boxes and all the other genres of video gaming?
Yeah, it's just insane though that like it's literally a pachinko machine. Like if you played a pachinko machine,
Is that the one, the little thing that's...
Yeah, you
Yeah.
put the little ball in, and then you're literally just
that's
random.
risk. Yeah,
That's the whole thing, and it's real money that goes into it. It's insane.
in 2K.
Yes, it's real money that goes into it. You don't get money back.
No,
You just get
you
virtual
get-
currency, and it's just a roster update. When NBA 2K21 comes out, they wipe the floor. There goes your $300-400 you spent to get Michael Jordan, and now it's gone.
No.
They redo it every
So
single
wait,
year.
hold on. You're telling me all those Fortnite skins that everyone has bought, and I don't know when, don't know how, maybe one day Fortnite goes away, I lose all that, even if I drop $500 on it?
Yes.
How?
So here's the thing that really is hard to look at. Because like when we grew up,
Yeah.
the earliest thing I can even remember of DLC, and honestly, I didn't even realize it was DLC until like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So if you think about it, Sonic 3 for the Genesis
Okay.
was like half a game, right?
Yeah.
When you play it, you're just like, dude, these levels are amazing, but like, where's the rest of the game? Well, Sonic and Knuckles,
Uh-oh.
okay?
Okay.
It's like a dual cartridge. It's got the one slot that goes in the Genesis,
Okay.
but then you flip open the top, and Sonic 3 goes into it. And that's how we did.
Is this like the old school, like when I wanted to get cheats on my Game Boy Advance, I'd plug Ruby into this other cartridge, and then I put it in there, and then I could download unlimited like rare candies or whatever it was.
It's literally the same concept.
Style. Okay.
So it's the same thing. They had that in the early 90s, and that's cool because guess what? My DLC still works. Right? I paid for that. Well, I didn't pay for it. My parents did, or whoever did at the time, maybe my sister.
Yeah.
But they paid for that, and it still does exactly what it was intended then. And DLC has just gotten, it got to the point where it was like, I remember literally begging my mom to get the Star Wars Battlefront 2 DLC. Did you have that DLC, Lee?
I don't, to be honest, the DLC for that, I don't remember having that just yet. I was fully content with, the planets that we had there at the time, or whatever it was in Battlefront 2. I remember it was planets and space battles and...
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's. I think my earliest place I could remember DLC was Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
On Xbox 360, it was when of course everyone loved the originals, but like Crossfire, I think was that one.
I think so.
DLC ones. Everyone's like the long sniping map where it's uphill, downhill.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that was the only DLC I could fully remember actually buying, and that's when I first started. Well, for me, that's when I first started. Before then, I was completely content with beating the video game and unlocking after you beat the game. So wait, if we just beat the game and unlock it, like why is that not a thing anymore though?
I think, and I remember it very specifically, Shadow of Mordor. It was either Shadow of Mordor or what was the one after that? Or was it, there was two games. There's a Shadow of Mordor and then there's like another one.
Dude, I always got confused on the Lord of the Ring games, to be honest.
Whichever one was the first one.
I played Battle of Middle-earth too, and that thing was legit because I was big Command and Conquer fan.
I'm going to call it Mordor because
Okay.
I do not remember what the first Shadow of Mordor game was.
Okay.
I think it's Shadow of Mordor. Very specifically, I remember a developer on Twitter specifically saying that they have these microtransactions built into the game to get like the high-ranking officers. Because you ever even like hear the game or play it at all?
No, I haven't.
It's kind of like
I heard of it.
Yeah, like you have to kind of recruit people and
like we're talking about NPCs,
yeah, they're
characters?
NPCs. So like it's called the Nemesis system, where like you can take specific people that you've beaten and you can either kill them or you can recruit them on your team.
Okay.
Right, and some of them are like extremely difficult
kind of like Mass
to beat.
Effect style before Mass Effect was.
Yeah, kind of the same thing.
Okay.
So here's the problem: is you get to like the end of the game and the grind is so bad. It's like 20 hours you have to grind to beat the last level.
Yeah.
That would be normal, but then they say, "Oh, well, here's a little microtransaction you can throw in to take 20 hours of a grind out of your experience." And I remember on Twitter, they said that people don't have as much free time as they did before, so they're giving those people an option. What happens when that's our only option?
To jump ahead?
Right, you can just jump ahead.
So hold on, pull back. EA, Battlefront. No, not Battlefront, my bad. Battlefield. Do you remember when the game would first come out, everyone would play it, everyone's on the same playing field, so if you play the game longer, you progress, you put more time into it, the more time it gets, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You get more guns and all that fun stuff. Do you remember, like, after 2 or 3 weeks or a month it's been out, then all of a sudden they introduced the shortcut kits?
Yes.
You could buy the engineer class, scout, all that, and you just jump ahead and you get all the guns. Do you remember that?
Yes.
What Battlefield that even start in? Was that 4?
I want to say...
Or was that 3? Because 3
3
and 4 were really close.
Bad Company.
Let's be honest. Battlefield 3 and 4, super similar games. One was for 360. Then they came out with the 4, and then that was for Xbox One. But then they still made it for 360 at the time because there's that transitional period where they didn't know who would play it on Xbox One, who would play on 360.
Mm-hmm. Here's my problem.
Yeah. Is
the DLC that they have now, they're acting like it's just cosmetic.
DLC, well, we need to categorize this, right? DLC is like, what would be DLC in your eyes? Just levels?
DLC in what I would consider good DLC.
Okay.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, where they said, you know what, we made a full, complete game. You guys really like this game. Here's more.
Okay.
That's cool. But here's the problem with that. That's a legit DLC, and it's good. I can't get that again. I paid for it. I can't even download that again unless I have my original Xbox, which I don't. And even if you have
Yeah.
it, if your hard drive dies, that's
You're
it.
done.
You got to pirate it or whatever, and the average consumer isn't going to want to do that. All that stuff is gone.
No. So then, are we scared of DLC or are we scared of just microtransactions in video games?
Both, in my
Because
opinion.
is a DLC more or less a thing? Like, we have a half-baked video game for you. If you get this DLC, then you complete the whole thing.
Right, exactly. Now, take, for example, like so many games out there. Destiny is the best one. They data mined it. They find like the entire first DLC pack on the disc. It's literally on the disc.
But that's a good thing, though.
No.
You don't think so?
Because it's on the disc that you paid $60 for.
So they're just getting more money off of
Right. So then
yeah.
they charge you $20, $30 for the DLC when it literally was on the disc, and all it had to do was do an update to unlock it.
Has anyone figured out how to break the code yet?
Well, with it being a
Surprised.
always online service,
No one.
if you bypass that, they
Just
can
shut
see
off,
you doing it. Right.
Close your IP and all that fun stuff. Okay.
And then here's one of the biggest things that really bothers me is preservation. So, like you said, Battlefield before.
Yeah.
Battlefield 4, did you buy that on release?
Yeah, I bought that in 360, and then I was dumb enough to buy it for the Xbox One.
Oh my, was
Yeah.
it broken
Yeah, it was.
for like literally a year or two
For
before
s-
they finally got it together, and it was how it should have been from the get-go.
Yeah.
That game without a patch is legitimately unplayable. And that came out in what, 2013? 2014?
Yeah. 2013 is when the Xbox was fully launched out.
Yeah.
Xbox One. Xbone, whatever you want to call it. But I remember the game was Battlefield 4 was created 360 era too. So I think Battlefield 4 is a little bit before that holiday season when the Xbox One came out.
Yeah, so
Because everyone was freaking terrified. The fear mongering Microsoft did on the gaming community, like, it's always online. You cannot share. You can only send a link for your friend to share it or something.
the
it was so long
turnaround
ago.
that they did, oh my, the guy that's running Xbox right now, he needs to teach a class on economics of how to turn around a complete disaster. Off topic, but oh my gosh, that is a disaster.
Business genius.
Yes, teach a class on it, please.
But why didn't they do The Rock? If they did it for the original Xbox, you think that'd be pretty cool. Have
The
Dwayne
Rock.
Johnson come out again and endorse your product.
No.
Okay, let's go back to our topic. We kind of got off there.
So, why do people allow this kind of stuff to happen? I personally think it's because people just don't understand.
Well, they don't understand, and we keep buying it.
Right.
If
Like
we stop
NBA.
feeding them money, they'll sooner or later learn. But I mean, let's be honest, it's corporate America. They're going to shove a product out no matter how bad it is, and someone's going to buy it. Like,
Exactly.
all those video games. There's a new, any sport you call it besides, I mean, baseball does it, but they're only on PlayStation. I think that's exclusivity. I don't remember
The
when.
show.
Yeah, the show. That's
Any
the
other
only
baseball game sucks.
Yeah, but every sports game has a new game for every year it comes out. And what's the honest big update from year to year?
Roster update.
Roster update and a couple extra, like, now they move more realistic. Bullshit.
Or they bring back stuff they took away and add it back in as a feature or DLC.
Yep, or DLC. See, I think that's where people are just blinded because it's the new thing. It's almost like the Apple way of thinking. Just because it's new, which I love the fact this new iPhone launch is like all of our iPhones are completely 100% recycled metals from what you turned into us through our trade-in program. So we stole your money the first time. You traded in the phone, and then we stole your money even again buying the new phone.
Yep.
So what video games just did, essentially, on sports game. I mean, how many games have you played before you bought anything for it? And you're like, multiplayer, single player. Like, okay, where's the rest of the game? Boom, paywall.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay this in order. Like Borderlands. I love that game. Let me tell you, Borderlands 3, great video game. I love it a lot. I remember Borderlands 2, I couldn't play with my friend because I didn't want to pay the paywall to get the extra the extra levels to it. It's
Yep.
like, why would I want to do that when I just want to play with my friend? And even if he bought it and I didn't, we couldn't even link up in a match together to play stuff that we both didn't have to pay for. It was just on the disc.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he bought that, I couldn't play with him.
Exactly. And they set so many different paywalls, but I come at it different than most people do. Most people that go out and buy video games right now, they do it digitally.
Yeah.
It actually just surpassed physical sales now. It's over 50% majority.
Yeah.
So when they buy a digital game like that, it works right now. Me, I own, and you know this,
Yeah.
like literally every console that's out there. And I have a 400 video game collection, and it grows every single day. Here's the lens that I look at it from is a preservation standpoint. My
Yes.
Atari 2600, as long as I still have my CRT, as long as I still have all the cables and everything I need.
As long as that bad boy's still working.
Oh yeah, it worked there. Yeah. It still works. Like literally, I was showing you the other day. It still works.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And like my Genesis, my Super Nintendo, my N64, like all that stuff works. When we got into CDs, it's a little bit more difficult
Yeah.
because the parts can break down. It's not just a
What's that one
motherboard.
thing you talked about with CDs? The
Yeah, disc
decaying
rot. So
disc
like
rot,
20,
yeah.
30, 40 years, who knows? Especially like the Sega stuff, they use really, really bad CD technology. So the CDs just rot from the inside. So that's difficult. But at least I get 20, 30 years
Yeah.
out of it, you know?
But now, like you said, from a preservation/conservation standpoint of view, what are we gonna do when eventually, when it happens, is not if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. What happens? Like they just rot and then oh crap, we don't have those copies anymore.
Right. And I think that's like the biggest problem that they run into right now
Mhm.
is like when a game company goes defunct, it's like the game rights go here, the engine rights go here, the sound goes here, and it's so spread. That's why the Xbox original backwards compatibility program is so very small, because it's all the Disney stuff through Star Wars, and it's like some of the properties by Microsoft and some stuff by like EA.
Yeah.
Like you have to have all your ducks in a row. Everything's got to be real easy, or else it's not going to happen.
But when we're talking about like Microsoft doing that whole like if they can't figure out where the money goes, why can't they just make it free? If they can't figure it out, but the fans or whatever you want to call us, the gamers still want to play that original game, but they really don't know where the money's gonna go to. I get everyone wants their cut of the check because it's their game, or whatever studio they got folded under or bought out, vice versa. No one knows where that company went.
Right.
Just make it free then. Like, just let us play the game.
Right.
I get everyone needs their money. The root of all evil.
That's the problem. Here's
I
the
guess. But if we're still on the money topic on conserving those games, now tell me this. You're a collector. Do you pride yourself more on the value of your collection in terms of money, like actual currency, or do you value it due to the nostalgia of all of it? Like, you could just pop that game in, you could play it, you could enjoy it, you could teach your kids if you have kids,
right.
whatever, nephews,
Yeah,
nieces.
like the nostalgia part of it is the biggest thing. Like I like being that guy that people can go to and be like, dude, you have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4? Oh my gosh, like, can I play that?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you can play it. I like being that guy, and I like the feeling of having it. I don't like doing emulators and all that other crap.
Well, now you collect because based on the nostalgia of the games that you have. You want to
Right.
be able to plug it in. Oh, that's the same feeling I got the first time I played it. Now let's talk about the guys that collect the games because they know they're worth something. What do you tell those guys if we take those games and put them into an emulator? It's kind of like Magic cards.
But here's the people I'm most scared for, Lee,
Let's hear it.
are the newer generation of gamers. I have a nephew,
Yeah.
okay? One of his favorite games is Fortnite, okay? And I mean, like, everyone under, like, let's be honest, you're probably under 18.
Okay. Are we talking? So Fortnite is a big culprit. I love PUBG to death.
Yeah, it's an amazing game.
it is.
But
when it wants to work. But yeah, go on with.
here's my problem.
Yeah.
Me and you grew up, and I'm sure a lot of other people our age grew up playing it on like a CRT or like maybe an EDTV or a rear projection. Halo Combat Evolved, like Halo 2. Those games were amazing.
They were.
The couch co-op experiences that we had with that. Like, I did a LAN party for the first time. I like freaked out when I
Okay,
did that for the
But
first
split
time.
screen gaming was a thing. But I
Right.
mean, the system link, that was a whole different ball game. But everyone came over to a friend's house.
Yeah.
We all huddled around whoever biggest TV their family had, or whoever's family had the biggest TV, and asked mom and dad if we could go over and do it. Like, that was, I think, the pinnacle of gaming. The fact that one person out of the friend group would buy the game. Like, I remember as a kid, we'd plan this out. I was like, all right, John, you're going to buy that game. I'm going to buy this game. Timmy over there is going to buy that game.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go play this game all together on the same screen all night long until we're forced to go to bed.
And we can still do that. We just did it the other day. We were playing on my OG Xbox.
Yep, we were doing, what's it called? Greg Hastings
Yeah, Greg
Maxed.
Hastings Paintball.
Greg Hastings Paintball Maxed.
And we can still do that. Like, we can still have that experience. And it's the same thing. And I still get those little butterflies in there when I play with you guys.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Is like, yeah, you love PUBG. Yeah, my nephew loves Fortnite. And a million other people like Fortnite. But let's just keep in mind that when Halo came out, I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
So when I was realistically playing it, probably between the ages of 8 and 11, that's like 13 years ago, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Imagine in 2034,
Yeah.
Fortnite still working. Not a chance. Those are the people that I'm scared for. Is all those nostalgic memories that they're going to have for PUBG and Fortnite, they're not going to have, because once those servers go down, they are done. They're going to move on to the next game and the next game.
Well, then bring it back to the topic of digitally downloading the games and having it only on that console or the account, depending on how you want to look at it. Not having a physical copy anymore kind of scary. Like, now you're killing off businesses like GameStop that offer that trade-in program for physical copies. What's going to happen when they switch over all to digital? What, we're going to buy USB drives and plug it in? Like, that's the only way GameStop or any of the other people that offer that trade-in program, whatever you want to call it, that's how they stay alive. Or kind of. I don't know how even GameStop's still open, to be honest. Like,
yeah, but I want them to stay open.
I
You know how
want
many
to.
people like want to dance on their grave? But like, I'm nostalgic for that store, man.
like we talked about in our last video, why we love video gaming. Those midnight releases were probably some of the best times I can remember in video games.
Yeah.
Everyone, I mean, granted, I think the funniest part was just like sports ball. Like, you take a bunch of Packers Bears fans, like, they hate each other. People going in to get the new video game. What console you have?
Yeah.
You're a PS4? Oh, you're dumb.
Exactly.
I think all the Xbox kids just freaking, you know how it is.
Yeah.
But that was awesome. I remember going to Call of Duty, even though, I mean, there was a bunch of guys dressed up like army dudes in airsoft
It was
gear.
cringe.
It was cool, but then they kind of learned. Then they got the National Guard involved, and they did recruitment, all that fun stuff. That was awesome for video games, and it supported the local I mean, granted, I know National Guard, Army, all those guys. That's just very niche. Call of Duty, that's what they went after. But then you got the cosplayers. That when Halo came out, they had their own things they would build, work up, and then go work at GameStop for like a couple hours, and just made the experience so much better.
And they're not going to be able to experience that because like now the game comes out at 10 at night, and you just digitally download it. You don't have to go into the store. You don't have to wait in the line. Like, how much fun did you have on a midnight release talking to some random dude in front of you about like last year's game, or like what games are you playing now? Like, that was so cool.
And I mean, people that do know me, for whatever reason, when I run into Schaumburg, my hometown, I always run into someone that either knows me or knows of me, wants to talk. But that little spurt of like just shooting the crap with some guy in front of you and possibly making a friend online, and then next thing you know, some people become best friends over that stuff. Like the social interaction between all the gamers, like that was awesome.
Yep.
Now it's like you play with some rando in a lobby. It's like, what's your gamer tag, bro? I'm gonna add you, and then we're gonna play games,
and then I'm gonna troll you.
And then next, report blocked, and you can't play or talk to anyone for a couple days.
Now here's the scary part, Lee.
Yeah.
You mentioned the physical game.
Yes.
So when you have the digital game, you have that game until your console dies.
I'm such a hypocrite. I downloaded Gears of War 5. Okay, go on.
It's easy, man. And that's the thing. They make it so easy. But here's the biggest problem. If you digitally download it to your console, well, I mean, a majority of the Xbox One X's storage is solid state or some type of better drive.
Yeah.
It's probably going to hold the data longer, maybe 10 or 15 years, and then it's gone. Reacquiring that data is the problem. Unless the next Xbox Scarlet or whatever supports full backwards compatibility and you can download all that stuff, that is gone forever. But here's the scariest part that no one thinks about. It even scares me about the Switch. It scares me about even collecting any other console from here on out, is the fact that, yes, I own the physical game, but development time and how much time it takes to complete the game, what they can do is they can just say, you know what the game state is right now, it's completely broken, day one patch. Just print the game. Yeah. It is not going to work when you put it in your console unless you have that patch. And what happens when you can't get that patch anymore? That disc is a freaking coaster.
Yeah, I think every single game studio is guilty of that. Let's be honest. When was the last time we played Grand Theft Auto online? There's a huge patch, or any Rockstar games. I know they put time into them, but I feel like they're the only studio I know that puts the most amount of time, and still somehow there's a huge patch. Or even what Mass Effect Andromeda, right? That was a big flop.
Exactly.
The facial expressions.
They would literally just move around in a circle where you're talking to them.
It's what are you guys doing? I get deadlines are tight, but I mean, from what I remember as a video, playing games as a kid, you bought the game, and before most people had high-speed internet, the game was completed on the disc and didn't require any of that whatsoever.
Right.
Now, granted, times are changing. I guess we're old, stubborn video gaming guys now, but we're not really old compared to most people that have been playing video games since Pong on the Atari, but still, it's scary to know that if, for whatever reason, that company folds over and it's a digital download, Microsoft, Sony, any of those guys will pull it off of their marketplace because they don't know where the money's going and they don't want to be the guys responsible. I forgot the old saying my dad used to say in Caterpillar. Was it CYA? Cover your own behind, essentially.
Yep.
That's what a lot of companies, that's the hard reality of this world, is that everyone's just there to cover their butt, and who cares what happens?
Exactly. And that's why I want everyone listening to this public service announcement, fight back. Fight back against these day one patches. Fight back against the DLC. Fight back against all this stuff that makes gaming now literally impossible 10, 15 years from now. And no one here can tell me that, we're not going to play those games years from now. Okay, but what if they don't make another Horizon Zero Dawn? I want to play that one that was on the PS4.
Yeah.
But even though I own the disc, it might not even work.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that no one's talking about. And I'm so glad that we're bringing it up. And I'm sure there's people out there. But I don't see any big, huge channels out there. I don't see any news outlets saying oh my gosh, gaming 10 years from now is going to be totally different. None of this stuff is going to exist.
I think that's the part we run into, that since no one's really opened up about it because we're such a little group amongst the world of people that play video games, why is it still, it's off topic, why is video gaming still so taboo to talk about? The government's still always out. Bless everyone's, this is not to, for hate, but whenever violence does happen, the media outlets will always go towards, video gaming do it.
Right.
Or they did it.
And it's,
or as Marilyn Manson back in the day with Columbine. He was the darkest guy playing music, the most messed up stuff. He did it. You can't just blame the dude's music. Yeah, everyone has a freedom of speech. He has a message. He sung his message, but you can't just label it on video games. Why is it so taboo that we can't even choose another source? Maybe it's the messed up parents that allowed that to happen.
Yeah, it has. I think the biggest thing that has to do with it, and this is Adam Korlick, my guy, the reason why I started YouTube, the reason why I started collecting retro video games. He has a little analogy that I like to think of. It's, I own a pair of shoes. Everyone I know owns a pair of shoes, but they're sneakerheads. There's sneakerheads out there that buy shoes, collect shoes, sell shoes for a ridiculous amount of profit.
Yeah.
And the company makes a lot of money off of those people, but where does 80% of their revenue come from? Guys like me and you that don't even collect shoes. We just buy the shoes.
Because we think it looks cool.
Right. It looks cool or they're comfortable. That's how gaming is. You know, we make up
holiday season.
30% of true gamers actually buy
Care.
video games, care video games, to watch a video like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The other people just buy Madden and Call of Duty and like NBA and FIFA.
Because it's the newest one out. Who
Right,
wouldn't
and they
wanna do
just
that?
give into it. But like we're such a minority, and that's why we really got to stand up. Like we're going to be the people that are going to be constantly calling these companies out. And future episodes, I'm telling you guys right now, future episodes, we're going deep. Big Gaming Pharma, it's going down.
We're coming after you.
So yeah, leave a comment in the description. What do you think about current gaming and how it sits right now?
Tell us what scares you the most.
Yeah, because we need to protect the children.
Yeah, the children. No. Seriously, comment below. Tell us what you think about. Give us more topics to talk about on our channel. We're really open to anything in the video gaming industry or video game topics in general. See ya. Deuces.